Good morning, everyone. Today is day number 9 on my 77-day challenge. So I hope you are still moving strong in whatever challenge you decide to embark on this year for 2022. Mine was to go live, to talk to you out there, and to inspire you. This is Lady Tiffany Pringle. I'm here to encourage, inspire, and help you grow. So our topic today is, what lies do you tell yourself? Sounds interesting, right? But every day we tell ourselves lies. There are 2 lies that many of you have told yourself one time or another throughout the years. And the first one is, it is not possible. The second lie is, I'm not enough. So what I want to do today is talk about those 2 lies. They're called self-limiting beliefs. The things we tell ourselves that are not true, the things that we constantly remind ourselves about ourselves, it's just not true. What happens is we get stuck in our head and we allow our inner critic to completely tear us apart, completely lower our self-esteem. And you may say things like, you feel like you're not enough. You might beat yourself up for past mistakes that you've made, or maybe you're comparing yourself to others and it's, I'm not as good as they are, or I can't do it like them, right? You just constantly put yourself down. You don't even think about the strengths that you have. You begin to play down your strengths instead of build them up. Or you may just have anxiety about what it is you just might not do correctly. So these are just some of the self-limiting beliefs, the lies that we constantly tell ourselves that keeps us from moving forward. These are the internalized negative thoughts. You begin to convince yourself that you're just not worthy. So today I want to give you a scripture for you to remember, for you to say to yourself when you start feeling that you're not enough, or telling yourself some of these lies that I've shared. And that scripture is 1 John 4:4. And it says, greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. So greater is he that is in you. That means that you have to stop telling yourself these negative things, because that's not who is in you. God is in you, and God is greater than anything anyone has ever told you before. God is greater than any of those negative thoughts. God is greater than any of those negative feelings, but you have to believe that about yourself. You have to begin to speak that, to say that constantly, so you hear yourself saying positive things versus negative things. In the generation that we're in society, we begin to compare ourselves and we say things like, I should have been married by now, or I don't make as much money as this person. We're the same age. Listen, we all have done that, right? We have that comparing game, and we can create all types of things. The list goes on and on. And we get bogged down in those thoughts. And in the midst of that, we forget who we are. So again, remember the scripture, greater is he that is within you than he that is in the world. Greater is the things that you say to yourself that are positive than the negative thoughts, the negative things that you have been putting in your mind. The truth is, you are worthy. The truth is, anything is possible. It just takes work. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to be better? Are you willing to change for the better? But I want you to understand that everything that you need to be that person you desire to be is already within you. You have the power to create, to invent, to restore, to change anything about yourself that you really don't like. There are things that you may not like about yourself, but guess what? You have the power to change that. And there are so many possibilities that are waiting on you right now once you decide to get over your self-limiting beliefs. I want you to think about this. Imagine if you decided to change your conversation within. Imagine what your life would look like if you just showed up every day doing the things that you desired. Imagine what your life would look like if you stopped putting these limiting beliefs on yourself. The possibilities are great. You have the ability to create. Again, I say this often. You have the ability to change. You have the ability to be whatever it is you desire. So I'm going to leave you with 3 tips, 3 ways to reverse this thinking, 3 ways to think differently. The first is self-reflection. Pinpoint and acknowledge, when did these self-limiting beliefs start happening? When did I start telling myself that I can't do it? When did I start believing that I wasn't good enough? Reflection. When did it start? Were you young? Were you a child? Is it something that you grew up hearing, and you adopted someone else's thoughts about you? It happens all the time. And this is what you need to understand. Everything that you know right now is something that you learned. You learned it along the way. Whether you were 0 to 6 years old, 7 to 15, the young adult you may be now, the older person you may be now, no matter what age you are, you carried something from an environment that may not have had your best interest. And you adopted those thoughts. You adopted those words and you made them real in your life. So I want you to have the self-reflection, acknowledge where did it come from, and also acknowledge the fact that you can reverse that language. You can reverse those thoughts. My second way to reverse this is to encourage you to get a journal. And I want you to think about everything good about you. Anything that is positive about you, anything that you love about you, anything that you like about you. I want you to just begin to write it down. And don't think too hard about it. The first thing that comes to mind, write. You should be able to have at least 20 things that you love about yourself. And if you cannot think of 20, give me 10. Reach out to someone that loves you, supports you, has your best interests at heart, who acknowledges the good things about you, who knows some of those positive things that you probably overlooked because you were in your emotions. Pick up the phone and ask, hey, what are some characteristics about me that are positive if you can't think of them on your own? So get your journal and just start writing all the great things that you know about yourself. My third tip would be change the narrative by speaking opposite of what you have spoken. Speak opposite so that your subconscious mind and your conscious mind can hear the positive words about you. They need to hear it so they can remind you when those thoughts start coming back. I don't want you to get caught up in your past or letting your past define who you are today, because every day you become a new person. Every day is a new day to start something different, to change something about you, to begin something new. And it's time for you to be who you were meant to be. You weren't meant to be that person that says, I'm not good enough. You weren't meant to be that person that says it's not possible. Because with God, all things are possible. Listen, that's a short scripture in the Bible, but I want you to take that scripture and apply it to your life. What happens is we read the Bible, but we really don't apply it to our life. Apply it. Put yourself in it. All things are possible for me. So when you start believing that, you can achieve the things that you desire so greatly. Nothing will be impossible to you, because you can go on that job interview and land the opportunity that you desire. You can make the money that you desire to make. You can be an inspiration in somebody's life. You can be more than who you are today. You just have to decide that this is what you want. Decide that I'm not talking to myself negatively anymore. It's time out for negative talk. It's time out for negative thinking, because there's so much more that I have to do. There's so many more opportunities that I have not even beheld, because I refuse to let go of my negative feelings, my negative thoughts. It is time for you to step up to your full potential. Your full potential. You have more potential that you have not tapped into. So I want you to be thinking about what I've shared with you today, how you can reverse this thinking, what can you do differently, what can you change to be a better you, and start putting it into practice. Start being that person you desire to be. Start speaking everything into existence and becoming that. Listen to the words that come out of your mouth, not just the thoughts that you're having in your head. And tell yourself every day, I am worth it. It is possible. I am worth it. It is possible. If you do nothing else, write this on a sticky note, put it somewhere where you can see it every day, your mirror, in your car. I am worth it. It is possible. And the scriptures I gave you, greater is he that is within me. Greater is he that is within me. So that means I can do this. All things are possible. So I thank you all for joining me this morning for these words of encouragement and inspiration. I'm here every morning to do just that. Encourage you, inspire you, motivate you to believe in yourself, to go a little further than you have been, to grow, not only spiritually, but personally and professionally. God bless you all. And until tomorrow, have an amazing day.